Hello, this is Jennifer Martinez, and today we're going to talk about perimeter versus area. We have three basic shapes: a rectangle, a square, and a triangle, and the formulas for perimeter and area of each. The perimeter is the distance around the boundary. So where they got this formula, it's the distance around the boundary for each of the shapes. Where the area is the amount of inside space. The amount of inside space, how they measure that, is in square units. For example, let's look at example 1. A metal strip is being installed around a workbench that is 10 feet long and 3 feet wide. Well, the workbench is a rectangle, and it's asking how much stripping is needed. So we're looking for the strip that's around. So since it's around, that would be the distance around the boundary, or the perimeter. So let's go ahead and write down the formula for that. P stands for the perimeter, L stands for the length, and W stands for the width. So since this is 10 feet long and the width is 3 feet, because it's 3 feet wide, it's asking how much stripping is needed. What is the perimeter? So I'm just going to go ahead and plug in for L. We'll plug in a 10. 2L means 2 times L because there's nothing in between. 2W, so that means 2 times W. So we always multiply before we add, so that would be 20 plus 6. So the perimeter is 26. Now that is just in feet. To see that, let's write the 3 here. In the picture, the width is 3 and the length is 10. So this side is also 3 and this side is also 10. And we just add these up, and you can see there's 20, 2 times 10, plus the 6, 2 times 3. So you can see that it just makes sense. And it makes sense it's in feet because all of this is in feet as well. So that's an example of perimeter. Let's look at example 2. A drapery panel is measured 3 feet by 4 feet. How much material is needed? Well, now we're talking about the amount of material, the amount of the inside space. The area is the inside space. It's still a rectangle, so we know it's going to be area. Let's write down that formula. A equals L times W, where A is the area, L is the length, and W is the width. So now we know that it's measured by 3 feet by 4 feet. So we know the width is 3 and the length is 4. You can interchange those, it really doesn't matter. But on the picture here, the width is the smaller one. So if I plug this in, the length is 4. This means multiplication because there's nothing in between, times 3. So the area we know is 12. Now this is in square feet. The reason that it's in square feet is the following. So let's label this again. The width is 3, the length is 4. So instead of looking at the boundary, we're looking for the material needed, the inside space. So what we do is you break the length into 4 pieces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 feet there. And then I'll do the same thing for the width. 1, 2, 3. So that would be 3 feet there. And it's asking how many unit squares, how many squares are 1 foot by 1 foot. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 of them. That's why we multiply 12 square feet. So that's why the units change. If you remember, the perimeter was just plain feet. The area, the inside space, is measured in square feet. If you were doing inches, it would be square inches, meters, square meters, and so forth. That is the difference between the area versus the perimeter.